Hey YouTube, what is up? I'm back with another video for this week. This week's video is going to be actually pretty quick. I'm just going to do a quick video on how to do a wacky rig. So the wacky rig is a really awesome rig, and it's a lot simpler to hook up than the Texas rig. But there's a couple things that you're going to want to need for this rig, and basically I'm going to show you how to do it with a soft plastic worm, because that's what it's used for. So you're gonna need a soft plastic worm. You're gonna need a couple rubber bands or some O-rings or something of that sort, which you'll see why in a minute. And you're gonna need your hook. So first things first. Now, the wacky rig, basically what it looks like is you have the worm, and then you have your hook going through the worm like this, and then the worm on both sides can bounce. Now the problem is that once you get the hook through, after a while it starts kind of breaking the worm down. If you keep going through the middle of the worm, as you can imagine, once you start catching fish, this thing easily breaks down. And unless you're, if you have Senkos, you can't keep spending that much money. It's just too much money. So that's where the O-rings or the rubber bands come in. Here I have oh, there goes one. I have a couple rubber bands that I have here that I'm going to use for this. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the rubber bands and you're going to put them right top of the worm like this, just like that. You're just going to slide them onto the worm. And with these ones, because they're really small, I prefer to do like 2 or 3. But if you get like a plastic O-ring that fits right, you only need like 1, because they're stronger. They're a lot stronger. But yeah, rubber bands work. Basically anything you can find. And then I just need to put one more on here. So, okay. Alright, so there we go. That's what it will look like. That's just what mine looks like. I got a couple rubber bands on there. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your hook and you're going to put it underneath, or you're going to slide it through the rubber bands. Like this. Alright, and basically that is the wacky rig. And it's really great for deeper water too, or like if you can fish off some points and on the drop off, because it lets it fall, and as it's falling it gives it that wiggling action like this and flopping action. But even if you don't, it's still an effective rig. Once if you jig it, it kind of goes like this. It's really awesome. Just be sure, if you want to extend the life of your soft plastic worm by, a lot, to use some O-rings or rubber bands or something. And in this particular example I have here with rubber bands, and really with anything, even if you're using an O-ring, you don't want to just hook under the rubber bands. You want to get a little bit of the worm as well. So you want to go like kind of under the worm, like into the worm a little bit, and then come out like that. Well, that's probably a little bit too much, but you get my point. I mean, that's okay, as long as you keep whatever's holding it together right in the middle of where you just hooked. So just make sure, basically what this is doing is it's giving it extra support and keeping it together. But make sure you get a little bit of the actual worm underneath the rubber bands when you're hooking it. Like this is a better example of what I'm trying to say. Like you just hook a little bit of the skin underneath the rubber bands, because if you just put it on the rubber bands, they could snap. It's possible they could snap. If you're using an O-ring, not so much, plastic O-ring. But if you're using rubber bands, it could potentially snap. So you don't want your hook just on the rubber bands, of course. You want to get a little bit of the worm in there as well. So this has just been a quick tutorial today on how to do a wacky rig. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it useful. And I'll have more videos coming up in the future. I got some more rig videos in mind that I'm going to show you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for your continuing support. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I will catch you guys in the next one.